War of the Spark. It is on the horizon. We keep hearing about it. We did some specs earlier. We have that update video for you. You have called for it. Here it is. Buckle up. A lot of you said you were in a car. I don't know if you're in a car, but just be safe if you are. The world does not revolve around you. Be respectful of others' well-being. Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. We are going to talk about War of the Spark and some of my specs that I have done on cards that I think are going to be really big moving forward. But before I can do that, I need you to go down and do the good work of clicking a random button. Find a random button on your computer screen and click it, whether it is a like or a subscribe. Do that, and I'm not going to hold it up any longer. A little thing that we're going to be starting, comment of the episode, where we go through and on YouTube we pick a comment that someone leaves, and we're going to feature that comment. Sometimes we are so enriched by criticism. We thrive on criticism here at Jake and Joel Are Magic, and sometimes you get a comment that is just so, you take a step back and you go, you know what? I feel happy, like someone has done something, and here it is, the comment from Asladan 2 weeks ago. What a nose. Get a good look. You see it? So we've got some cards here. We're going to show you them, and then we're going to talk about the prices and where they are. This is the update video you've been waiting for. These are the cards, and there are just mounds of them. We'll just get them out really quick, and we're just going to go through them quickly, and then we're going to talk about the prices because I know that that's what people care about. But we're going to show you the cards that we bought tons of for the purpose of I really bought them. I'm not just playing with you. These are tons and tons and tons of Call the Gatewatch. These are like sets. Boom. Call the Gatewatch. We bought Call the Gatewatch. We bought Deploy the Gatewatch. Sets. There we go. Some smaller specs. Juru with Eyes Open. These are all cards that are relevant with Planeswalkers. War of the Spark. There is a preview coming up on Sunday. We're going to see 16 new cards. Okay? It's going to be amazing. I'm just showing you what we bought, and you could see if it says CK, that means I bought it from Card Kingdom. And you could just see like Oath of Nisas. We've already seen a huge turnaround on these. And I'm holding them now because a lot of this stuff I'm expecting to go up. And we're going to talk about, at the end of this video, we're going to talk about the biggest and most important thing that you can do to make sure that you don't get hosed speccing standard and modern relevant cards. Alright, so we've looked at them. We've got just Oath of Tefreeves. I was buying these at 69 cents. Get some Mox Ambers in here just hanging out. Bought these at $9.99 a piece. Mox Amber taking a little bit of a dip right now. This is a card that I'm actually really surprised is on no one's radar right now, is Weatherlight. I actually think Weatherlight has a lot of relevancy moving forward, and even if it sees a small spike, we'll move it during the spike. So, you've seen the cards. Let's go and get into the prices because I know that's what people care about. You can see what I bought under quantity. You can see the total that I spent next to quantity. So, on 3 Mox Amber, I spent $9.99 a piece. Okay? This is the market average. Hey, you're getting some behind the scenes here. We make this video and it turns around in a couple days. So the market price right now is on 26 March 2019. If I sold, that's a price there, and then there's my profit and loss. If it's green, green is good, baby. That means we're making money. So you can see Mox Amber, this is one of the biggest cards on the radar. I'm already in the green on this. I started buying these as soon as Saffron Olive tweeted, and you know what? I had some friends in the community who were buying Mox Ambers at $5 and $6 a piece, and you know what? Smarty pants. Oath of Ajani. This is another card. It affects Planeswalkers. It makes your Planeswalker spells cost 1 less. So you can see I've already taken a small loss. I bought a lot of Oath of Ajani on Amazon. And actually, that's going to be something that I never do again. I actually don't like buying cards on Amazon. I don't really know reputable dealers. But you can see, you know, I bought, you know, 28, 29, you know, 32 copies of Oath of a Johnny, you know, at various... we could see Thrumming Bird here. This is a card, I bought 101 of these, and I've taken a $22 loss. And we're getting the losses out of the way. You're going to see some big gainers moving forward. But Thrumming Bird is one of those cards that I'm giving, like, the gut shot treatment to. If a modern Planeswalker deck takes off, a card like Thrumming Bird, which not only deals 1 damage, but is also, you know, being a 1/1 flyer for 2, it proliferates on dealing damage. So proliferating a field full of Planeswalkers seems like a very big thing that you'd want to do. So deploy the Gatewatch. I bought 27 copies of this card. This is just, you know, Eldritch Moon was a set that was in between like masterpiece sets, and there weren't a lot. You know, people, I'm not going to say people didn't open Eldritch Moon, but it's a set that wasn't open nearly as in mass as like Kaladesh or Battle for Zendikar. It had some really good cards in it, and because it wasn't opened as much, there's a lot of value here. You know, we have Spirits cards that came out of Eldritch Moon, among other things. And you could see in my 27 copies that I bought, I've only accrued currently a gain of $2.99, which is fine. There's still a lot of room, and as we are not at this moment into War of the Spark spoilers, we are not even at like the prime time for selling yet. You know, there's been people that have been selling Mox Ambers and stuff like that. I don't even think we're at the prime time to sell. We're not at the hype point of where, you know, a lot of these cards have taken a small dip from coming up, and I think there's a lot to gain here. So we have Thalia's Lancers, another Planeswalker relevant card. You can see all of those numbers. If you need to pause it, you know, please by all means pause it. You take a look at what we've bought. And all of these cards are right here in this box that we started with. But you can see Juru with Eyes Open. You know, this is a card where we're seeing, you know, for this being a small spec, you know, I bought 16 copies of Juru with Eyes Open at 25 cents a card. This card has seen a 9-cent market price gain. If I've sold, you know, we're already seeing a little bit of ripples in the water here. Contagion Clasp, this is just a card, you know, it hasn't been reprinted a lot. It has, you know, a promo version, which we've seen a little bit of a gain on. Call the Gatewatch. This is one of those cards where I was buying copies of Call the Gatewatch at like 25 cents and 29 cents, and then I watched it go up to like 35 cents. And you could just see, you know, there is already a big turnaround on Call the Gatewatch. I've already made $15.38 on the non-foil copies, and on the 2 foil copies, you're gonna see I do not buy a lot of foils, because it's hard to, you know, sometimes it's hard to move foils, and especially because they get cloudy, and it's hard to tell, you know, when there's a near mint foil and not. Oath of Gideon, another card that is Planeswalker relevant. I bought 46 non-foil copies of the card. You know, I got, you know, 6 foil copies, but you could see there's already been a little bit of a gain on this card. I was buying most of these at, you know, 20, 25 cents, and now it's already, you know, a market price of, you know, 38 cents. And so there's already some big movement. Here's a card that has a lot of movement. I was buying Oath of Nissus at like 69 cents. This is one of the most anticipated cards from War of the Spark, and I still think it has room to grow. I've talked to a couple people that think that it could go up as high as 5 or 6, and if it sees serious play in Modern, this could be like, you know, as much as like a $7 to $10 card. I still think there's room to grow. And I talked about it before, and stick around, because at the end of this, we're going to tell you the number one. I'm gonna give you the number one most important thing that you can do to make sure you don't get hosed. Because when you're speccing standard cards, nothing is sacred. You need to move the cards. Oath of Teferi. This is a card. I think, again, 69 cents I was buying these at. Yeah, average card price 64 cents. So you can see right around there. Oath of Chandra. Took a little bit of a loss here, only 36 cents. You're going to see with Oath of Chandra and Oath of Jace, I essentially just bought 8 of these. These are cards that weren't really on my radar, but I was like, you know what, if something explodes with Oath of Jace, I think I have like 12 copies that were my own, but I bought 8 more, so I think I have like 20 copies from when I was endlessly hunting and hunting and hunting and hunting Oath of the Gatewatch expeditions, which is something I will never, ever, ever, ever do again, and you should not either, if you did. Kamal's Druidic Vow. This is another card. We've already seen some ripples in the water. I bought 8 copies. I wasn't expecting to see a lot of Kamal's Druidic Vow, a lot of this card, but you could see it's already moving a little bit. Again, you're going to see foil copies. These are mostly for my personal collection, but I do find them relevant for the video. Karn's Temporal Sundering, same thing. We're seeing some serious movement from when I bought these cards at 25 cents. And these are the cards, these vows, these Dominaria vows, where I most likely will go in and I will do one more wave of buying out these cards from Card Kingdom. And I mean, right now, the fact that this card has already in a month gone up from 25 cents to 48 cents, and it's like a card that's like honestly not great, it just shows like people, these cards are on people's radar. Same thing with Urza's Ruinous Blast. This is a card that becomes really, really, really good when you have a field full of legendary permanents. Same thing with Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. This is a card, we're seeing some ripples, we're seeing some movement. And finally, Weatherlight. This is a card that I still think there might be some movement. If it does spike, I'll probably sell it. But right now, I've taken a very, very, very small loss on this card. And you could see mostly in this video green numbers. And we'll go to the total. And you can see it right down here. Boom, boom, boom. This is a spreadsheet that it started with. My total spent is right here, $411.82. Boom. And this is, if I sold it at the current market price, I would get $594.22, which puts me at $182.40. In the green, baby. So, you could see, as we go through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, mostly, you know, this big loss on Thrumming Birds, but I still think Thrumming Bird has some potential. You've seen the specs. These are the updates. As we get closer to War of the Spark, we're going to do another video surrounding these cards. They are going to sit in this box. They're not going to move until I start to sell them. The number one thing that you need to do to make sure that you do not get hosed when you're speccing cards like this: sell them. Sell them when they spike. Make sure that you get rid of them. Don't let them be a box of cards that are your War of the Spark specs. Make sure to get out. And I'm going to tell you when to get out. This is when I would get out. I would get out before the first big major tournament, before we see what is being played in Modern and what is being played in Standard. And so when I'm going to sell these cards, I'm going to tell you exactly when I'm going to sell them. I'm going to sell them as War of the Spark starts to get spoiled. And everybody goes in and starts theory crafting. Oh my god, this card got spoiled, I need to buy this. And so when Call the Gatewatch spikes to like $3 or $4, I will sell all 39 copies. I might keep a playset for myself. As spoilers come out, as hype starts to build around War of the Spark, as people start going, oh no, I missed out, and FOMO starts going crazy, that's when I'm gonna unload these cards. And so I expect the profit to actually be a lot higher than 182 when this is done. And you know what? In a future video, we're going to cover that. Consider subscribing, all that stuff. We're streaming. Joel is going to be streaming Sunday nights. I'm going to be streaming Wednesday nights. That's a every week thing. And I think that's it, man. I am tapped out.